10 minutes and it already feels better.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm glad that you're here. As we're starting the morning, I wanted to talk a little bit about my morning routine and exercise. This is something that I'm really trying to incorporate a little more into my daily rhythm. Exercise has really become less about appearance and more about strength and caring for this vessel, stewarding my body well in the best way I know how. Sometimes I do videos and sometimes I do like I'm doing here and do some intuitive movements based on things that I've done before or things that I've seen online. This one I don't quite have mastered, but I want to keep trying. This morning, like many mornings I've shared with you, we are in the kitchen making one of our pantry staples, granola. This recipe is one that is so easy to make and doesn't call for unusual ingredients. It's one of those baked goods that would also make a lovely gift for a neighbor, a teacher, or a friend. I've mentioned before how much I love having the kids cook with me in the kitchen. It sometimes slows you down, but it is always worth it. It's such a good thing for them in so many ways and on so many levels.
It's already looking like granola.
So once our granola was in the oven for a little bit of time, I took a little bit out early so that I could top our breakfast with that. We sat down and had a lovely breakfast, and then I moved on to another part of our home, another staple in our home, and that is making homemade yogurt. This is just a part of my weekly tasks now, and it feels just as routine as loading and unloading the dishwasher. I use Lisa's method from Farmhouse on Boone. I've been using this for quite a while now. If after I've strained it, it seems a little too thick, I'll sometimes add back in a little bit of that whey.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Yard Sale Squad. Today we are just doing a normal, lovely day in our life, just trying to soak up fun moments and trying to work on managing screen time for me and for the kids, and just trying to really develop good habits. There are lots of things I want to accomplish today, so I'm going to take you along with me. So you guys saw this morning we had breakfast after I worked out. I found a new workout mat at a yard sale that is much thicker than my last one, and it is so nice. So I'll show you the brand here. It was really inexpensive, and it's something that has been on my yard sale list for a while. So it's so nice when I can check those things off the list. We had breakfast and I made some granola. I've shared this recipe before. It's the Lazy Geniuses granola, and it's so easy and it's so hands off. You mix it up and then you put it on a roasting pan or sheet pan, and I just stir it once in the middle of the 75-minute bake time. So I got that going purposely before we were starting breakfast and everything, and then I took a little bit out to top our yogurt with. It is so good, and if you only stir it once instead of like stirring it 2 or 3 times, then you develop these nice clusters of granola, and it is just delicious. If you ever want your house to just smell amazing, make this granola, because it has maple syrup in it, it has cinnamon, it has ginger, and every time I make it, my house just smells incredible. So we finished up breakfast, and then we've just kind of been working around the house doing different things. So one of the things on my list has been to get some plants in pots to go in our patio area, which that is still coming. It's just been a really busy, full summer, and so that project has been slow going, but we're very close to being finished, and I'm very close to showing you the final finished result. I'm very excited. We're gonna head outside. We're gonna work on planting those little plants in the pots, and then I think my daughter has set up a little cafe outside, so she wants me to come to that.
So I mentioned the dishwasher. Our household routine is usually load throughout the day, run at night, unload before and after breakfast. That's pretty standard day in and day out here. I'm so thankful that we do have a dishwasher, and I use it every single day. Also, shout out to Lydia Sin, who taught me that I can put my dish soap in a spray bottle like this with some water, and I can stretch it that much further. I've been using this tip for years, and I will probably never go back.
Oh, no.
I'm really looking forward to my salmon.
I used to this name.
Is this my salmon? Oh, thank you. What kind of seasoning is this on here?
It is pepper and salt. This is pepper. We need chili powder. No, there's not chili powder.
All right, so I have these that I need to get in a pot very soon. I have some yard sale pots that I will show you, but these are going to be for the patio, and I want to pair them probably with some coleus, but for now I'm just going to get these in a pot, and I can always add the coleus later. All right, so this is what they look like. This one is kind of a blue floral leafy pattern, and then this one is kind of like a mosaic tile, and they're both plastic, but they're that kind of material that honestly they look nice even though they're plastic. So this isn't exactly what I had in mind, but I found them at a yard sale, and I can't remember how much I gave for them, but it wasn't much at all.
This doesn't really feel like plastic.
I know. All right, I'm starting out with my recycle bin because my mom taught me that when you have pots this big, there's no reason to fill the whole thing up with soil. You'll just end up using more soil than you need. So we're gonna fill it with bottles and all that type of stuff. Can you help me? I'm gonna throw bottles in.
I want to pour some dirt in. When she was finished knitting, Nikki put on the mittens. He went to play. It wasn't long before one mitten fell off.
I thought I'd show you. I ran out of jars, so this is a wide mouth jar, but I didn't have a lid, so I'll have to find one or see if my mom has one. But this made a wide mouth quart jar and a pint jar, and we had a little bit with breakfast, and then here's a little bit left. So it really does make a really large amount of granola. All right, back in from their cafe. It is adorable. We made some little ice cubes that have fruit in them, and it really does add like a little summery, you know, detail to a drink. So we had that with Sprite and Gatorade. So I wanted to show you a find from the thrift store that my husband got for me, and then we're gonna find a spot for them. All right, so if you watched the small space living videos, you know that I had talked about my cabinet organization. This one needs a little bit of work, and this one is where I keep my glass Pyrex containers. And I had said in that video that I would actually love to have a couple more because I use them all the time. So he found 2 of these that are not the biggest we have. We have one bigger than this. So these are like 2 medium size, and then 2 that are the next size down, and then 1 that is the smallest. And I almost told him, no, just get a couple, but I thought honestly what I would like to do is get more of these and continue to cycle out less of the Tupperware. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to move some things around and see if we can make it fit.
So in my small space living series that I did earlier this year, I went through almost every area of our home, and I detailed the organization and storage, sharing how we managed to live in a small-ish space as a family of 4. Even with these cabinets being organized, they still periodically need a refresh. Plastic food storage containers will eventually become separated from their lids. Where do they go? We may never have an answer. But even in a space that feels quote-unquote done, I still have to give it a once-over from time to time. But I do it because I'm in the kitchen constantly, and I love feeling like I can breathe in this space.
Okay, so it's better than it was. I, for now, just kind of slid all of the glass ones together and stacked them. I'm not sure if that's going to work completely because there's one larger rectangle one that's currently being used and one larger round one that's being used. So I may have to move things around and live with it, but I still have all of the lunchbox containers up on the top of this riser. And then I have these little condiment cups that I ordered from Amazon that I love, that kind of helps to, if I want to pack something in the kids' lunch that's not leak proof. The Bent-Go box is the only lunch box that we have that's fully leak proof. So these little condiment cups help with that. And then in this cabinet on the top shelf, I just did the Tupperware containers in the back, and I reduced those by a lot. And then I have the smaller Tupperware containers up front. A lot of times we'll use those for snacks for school. And then this is where some of my bowls will go. And again, a lot of them are in use from baking today and things like that. But already it feels much better. These three things, actually, I don't really want to go here. I'm gonna make a space in our overflow pantry storage in the shed, and I will put these there. I think I'm gonna use a little organizer for small things like this to keep them contained, but that way they won't have to take up cabinet space. So that took 10 minutes and it already feels better. All right, update, I made one more change. I went out to the shed and I found these, and I love keeping stuff around like this for organizing projects. So I just have kind of a stack of them out there from when we moved that I just keep around for times like this when I think, oh, I could improve that. So now these won't be rolling all over the place. The round ones tend to kind of roll. They can be contained here, and I really like that as opposed to them just standing here, because when they would stand here, if I move this, then everything falls down. And now they will just stay in this little divider. Minor improvements, one at a time. The giant picked up the trembling Sophie with one hand and carried her across the cave and put her on the table. Now he really is going to eat me, Sophie thought. The giant sat down and stared hard at Sophie. He had truly enormous ears. Each one was as big as the wheel of a truck, and he seemed to be able to move them inwards and outwards from his head as he wished. "I is hungry," the giant boomed.
In the afternoon, we did a bit more food prep for an upcoming family vacation, but we ran into a bit of a roadblock.
I don't know if I want to use this peanut butter after all.
Hey, wait for me.
I may not use this peanut butter.
You want to try it?
I don't like the way that tastes at all.
I want to try. Yeah. I want to try it.
Yeah, we won't be using that.
It doesn't taste good at all. Very disgusting.
Much better.
Thankfully, we did have another jar of a different brand of peanut butter, but I have to say I'm not a fan of the regular Aldi peanut butter. I don't know if I just got a bad jar or if it's just not what I'm used to, but I could not stamp my name on this recipe using that peanut butter. I've shared these before as well, but they are just such a good summer staple. So the recipe that I use actually calls these breakfast cookies, but I call them energy balls. You can really just kind of make them in whatever shape you want to. But to achieve the amount that you see here, this is a result of doubling the recipe. And these just work so well for a summer staple, for snacks, for things that you can pack in lunches. So you start out with your wet ingredients. It's peanut butter and then either honey or maple syrup, a little bit of vanilla, and then once you've microwaved that just slightly, then you add in your dry ingredients. So that's your oats, your chia seeds, and then I add in mini chocolate chips. You want to add in the chocolate chips last unless you're okay with them being melted. If you add them immediately after your microwave ingredients are really still warm, then they'll get melted. I moved from the kitchen to doing a little bit of computer work and having an iced coffee. I just wanted to give you an update of the zinnias. So I had mentioned in my July reset and kind of talking about my favorites that they have not taken off, but they are doing better than last year. So I just wanted to give you a little peek at what we're getting so far. So it's much later at this point. It is, I don't know, somewhere around 7:30. So I wanted to show you those zinnias, and I wanted to show you my planters. I ended up not having enough topsoil, and actually my mom was at the store and she had called me about clearance plants because she knew I was looking for some. So she got me some really great clearance plants, and then while she was there, I said, could you also get me another bag of
potting soil. So she did that, and I got them planted. Now, they're clearance plants, and I had to cut the coleus back because it was pretty spindly. But let me show you what they look like, and you'll just have to picture them, a week or two from now when they have kind of started to get used to their new home. It has been a good day. I am tired, but it's been a good day. We got lots of things done today that were productive things, and we also just enjoyed some playtime and just really being present. So it has been a good day, and I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. All right, so this is kind of the mosaic one that I was talking about earlier. So this is the coleus. This is what I had to cut way back because it was really spindly. We have two different varieties of begonia. So we have this one right here that has kind of like a reddish pink flower. And then we have these over here that have, my mom described them as kind of spidery leaves. I think they're really cool looking. And then little white flowers on them. So two different varieties of begonia. And then over here is a little chartreuse sweet potato vine. And then this, it's got a little broken part right there. This is actually a zinnia. And this one, I can't remember if it's red or orange. We got a few different colors. So it's either red or orange. We'll find out pretty soon because there's a little bud right there. And then here's the other pot. So this is that blue floral one. And the plant mixture is pretty much the same. Okay, this is red. So no. This is, well, this kind of looks orange to me. Anyway, we'll find out. This is pretty much the same mixture except for I only had one sweet potato vine. So this is minus that.
In the evening, we enjoyed some family time, and I did not film anything else. I want to thank you so much for coming and savoring this summer day in our life. I hope it made you smile, and I have plenty more videos coming your way soon. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Have a blessed one, you guys, and I'll see you soon.